Welcome! We're at the farm at SOU and I'm here with Dean. Thanks Dean for taking the time to show us around. What makes the farm at SOU different from other farms in our area?
I'm glad you asked, Rebecca. The farm at SOU, first of all, it's owned by the university, and that means that we have a totally different purpose here. This is a teaching farm, so we're teaching college students to grow food, learn about soil, learn about plants, pests, good food, nutrition, all those good things. Food here really is dedicated to feeding the folks on campus, so this food goes to, we have a little CSA for the campus students, for the faculty, and a lot of this food goes to the cafeteria where the students eat their meals. And it makes their meals much, much better than they otherwise would be.
Thank you. Let's go explore. Come with us.
I'm here with Dean in the greenhouse now, and we have some baby plant starts here. You guys want to guess what they are?
No, it's not cabbage.
Close.
What are they, Dean?
These are lettuces.
And what is the plan for these baby lettuces?
Well, these are going to be planted, they'll be transplanted into the fields. Lettuce is a cool weather crop, and so it will do just fine as if we plant these outside. It likes the cool weather, actually. And so this is one thing that we can continue to plant in the fall, even when it gets chilly outside and when we have to put on a jacket. Lettuce actually does just fine.
When can we eat these?
Well, you could eat it right now if you want to, but they usually will get about, this big, about that tall. So it'll take about, 2 or 3 weeks now. When the sun gets really low on the horizon, it means there's not a lot of energy getting to the plant to spur its growth. So things take longer in the fall and in the spring to grow. So it would maybe take 2 or 3 weeks in the summer. It'll take more like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks now in the fall.
So we'll check back in about 5 weeks for some salad.
It'll be like a Christmas miracle.
We're back out in the field and we've come to this new plant that's growing in the ground. It looks pretty healthy. But
what could it be?
What could it be? I don't know. I don't think the part that we eat is sticking up right now, is it?
I don't think so. But let's find out. It's a carrot.
Carrots. Tell us about these carrots, Dean.
These are carrots, and they're delicious. We planted these this is a fall crop of carrots. You can actually feel how cold they are right now because the soil temps are really chilly. But these will be the sweetest carrot you would ever taste.
Why are they the sweetest?
I was hoping you would ask that. They're really sweet because when the temps get cold outside, the part of the plant that's above the ground freaks out because it thinks this is the end. This is winter time. It does something like that. It thinks it's freezing. This is going to be it. I'm going to die. So this will be my last chance to make seed. So all of the energy that this plant has goes right down. All the sugars go right down into the root of the carrot itself and gives it just a little bit of extra sweetness. Hi everyone, we're here at the beehives. So I don't know if you can see all this activity happening here, but the bees are busy. They're still collecting pollen these days. I think bees are the coolest things in the whole wide world, and I'll tell you why. I'm just going to give just a litany, which means a lot of facts here about bees. Number one, the honeycomb structure, pound for pound, is the strongest structure on Earth. Number two, any bee, in fact, almost all the bees in this hive, and there are somewhere between 50 and 80,000 bees in this hive right now, any of those bees could be a queen. And we still don't really know how the queen gets chosen, but they're all equipped to be queens. And once the queen is chosen, all the other bees bring basically hormones and lots of extra sweet, tasty food to grow the queen into the queen. So for all of you who are out there dreaming, you can all be queen bees. The other thing I'll tell you is, if anybody knows how the bees decide where they're going to go collect pollen. Does anybody know? I'll tell you. So the bees send out scouting parties, and they come out of the hive and they go in all different directions and they go looking for flowers. And each of those groups comes back. Each of those bees comes back and they do a little dance in front of the rest of the bees. And the dance will be like, imagine like a squiggly, jam dance that you might do, maybe a disco funk if you're into that sort of thing. But depending on how complex the dance is, how many twists and turns, how long it goes on, that's all telling the rest of the bees how far the flowers are, how many flowers there are, how much pollen there is. And then all the other bees vote on what they think is the best dance. And that's where they go to collect the pollen. So it's really important to vote. These hives have very, very specialized activities that each bee does. There are bees that just collect pollen. There are bees that just clean up the hive. Can you imagine if your whole job was cleaning up your room every day? Lots of these bees do that. There are bees, and this will be a little gross, but there are bees called undertaker bees, and they're the ones that bring all the bees that have passed away. They bring them out of the hive so that they're not in the hive anymore. And there are tons and tons of those jobs, and it's really a cool experiment, and everybody pulling together and making a really strong community. Plus, they give us lots of honey, which is super cool and actually really, really sweet. Welcome to the food forest. This is a different kind of a forest. If any of you have been in a real forest, you'll know that there are lots of different heights at which things grow, and that's what we're trying to kind of duplicate here. So we have fruit trees that are growing high, they're putting food up high, and we have some berry bushes that are putting out food sort of in the mid-range, and ideally we would have something like chickens or sheep or something on the ground. So what we would have is 3 levels of food production in the same linear footprint. So we're trying to condense a lot of activity into a small, small space. And that way we get a lot of food out of not very much space. You can do this in your backyard, as a matter of fact. Maybe without the pigs and the sheep, but maybe. Talk to your parents, see what they go for. But that's kind of the deal we're going for here. We've got peaches, plums, apples, pears, figs, nectarines, pluots, apricots, other kind of oats that I can't remember. All kinds of different fruit, and it's really yummy. Not right now so much, but in the summertime, it's really good.